What's up, everybody? Travesty here.
And the Freak Joe.
That's right, and we are bringing back our series of visiting spooky historic cemeteries known as Freaky Cemetery. Joe, we decided we're in Michigan this year.
That's right, going up and around the palm of Michigan. Mitten State.
Yeah. Wolverine State. Yeah.
Wolverine State.
Yeah. Joe, first stop, where we at?
We are at Reynolds Cemetery here in Jackson, Michigan. We weren't able to find when the cemetery was founded, but it was at least in the 1830s because that's around the time the town was founded. And one of the most famous things about the cemetery is the Crouch family history, reports of it anyway. And the thing that you'll find when you Google the Reynolds Cemetery at Jackson, Michigan, is the unsolved murder of the Crouch family. Did you want to say anything about that, or do you want me to go ahead?
Oh, no, keep going. Yeah.
Excellent. I'll keep going. So the main issue of this, November 22nd, 1883, the Crouch family was brutally slain. It is one of the deadliest unsolved slaying in Jackson's history, maybe in the state's history, frankly.
From what I gathered, yeah, it's stuff, especially for being unsolved, for it being an entire family, especially back in this era, 1833, yeah.
Yeah, so 6 people were murdered. Jacob Crouch, his daughter Eunice, Eunice's husband Henry, a family friend, and a couple of other family members, Susan Crouch and James Foy. James Foy apparently was suspected of the murder because he had a self-inflicted gunshot head. So maybe it was a mass murder-suicide.
The speculation is that he was the one who committed all these murders. He was accused of it, and because he took his own life, that's why he was the suspect of the murders and everything. They still claim him to be unsolved because they never officially made that determination. But yeah, I mean, when you look at this, when you want to talk about a family curse,
right?
This is it. Multiple family deaths and everything by the hands of, an unknown person, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Although now I'm looking at the dates of these things, and it looks like the first 4 were murdered November 22nd of 1883, and then Susan Crouch Holcomb was murdered in January of 1884, and then James Foy killed himself in February of 1884. So it does feel like he probably did it, or maybe just maybe he was overcome with grief at the loss of his employers. But that'd be weird. One of the things also that wow, really lost my train of thought there. Really fudged that up.
That's why it's the first stop, Joe.
I know.
Gotta get
back into the swing of things. Gotta get myself warmed up. No, one of the things that makes this cemetery so special, and one of the things that makes it the first stop on our journey, is the fact that people believe it was haunted by the Crouch family because they are not all buried here. And so a couple of times a year, sometimes at night, you may see a ghostly mist moving between the cemeteries where the family is buried. So it'll move from St. John Cemetery in Jackson to Reynolds Cemetery, which I guess is technically in Spring Arbor. They're about 5 miles apart from each other. And that's the deal. So.
Yeah, and then obviously on November 22nd, the
commemoration of the family's death.
Yeah, a lot of people come here and they visit the cemetery on that day. A lot of local police and everything, request people not doing so, but it does happen. This cemetery is along a road. There is no driving into it. It is fenced in, as you can see behind us. Access to it is from dusk till dawn. Opens up at 8 a.m. So, just consider that if you come visit yourself. Joe and I are going to kind of repeat the same process we did in our last vlogs, where we're going to kind of video separately from each other, gather what information we can, what images we can, everything, and that way you guys get separate perspectives. So Joe, if you're ready, I'm ready, and we can check out the first stop in our haunted cemetery tour of Michigan, Reynolds Cemetery.
Let's do it.
look here. We got Henrietta, wife of Tho Wilson. Interesting. From 1883. This is when you enter the cemetery and go to your left. Definitely want to watch. I'm not sure if there's... Okay. Fortunately, there's no writing on these. It looks like it all weathered away. See if we get any kind of writing on this. Unfortunately not. However, this kind of comes through a little bit clear. If I could... Fortunately, something we see a lot with doing these is the breakdown of most of these headstones because of age. I think, from what I could tell, these posts used to maybe kind of keep this part of the cemetery kind of separated, like maybe like roped off or something for the Holcomb family. And of course there's a spider on there, it's terrifying. As I mentioned, we are right off the road, so you're going to hear a lot of traffic coming by if you decide to come visit. Jonas Schneider. It's 1869. Wife Esther. Go this way real quick. Far back corner over here. Gardner Waite, Amy Waite. Gates. Erected by William Gates in memory of his father and mother. I don't know if you guys... Without really being here, it's hard to really depict how tall that really is. Well, we got some other stones back here. Again, post might be Reynolds Cemetery. But you got Alicia Knight, Hannah, Ellis, and Stephen, son of Samuel and Callista Gates. Unfortunately, 15 days old. See a lot of that with these, with the early passing of children. Oh, you got Samuel Gates, you got the Mason emblem. Samuel Gates, 56. Callista, 59. Some more stones. And got one more monument here. Sarah A., wife of William Johnson. William Elvira Johnson. Elvira. It kind of looks like this might have been the front for some reason, which is interesting because it's facing the opposite way. You got Johnson right there. But yeah, this is the left side of the cemetery. If you come in, Joe's gonna be over there on the right. So we'll go see what he has.
All right, Cartoon Joe here. No, the Freak Joe. Finally checking out the Reynolds Cemetery here in Spring Arbor / Jackson, Michigan. Got some very old graves here. Can't even read the names on them anymore. This one here has been repaired, it looks like. Beautiful. Beautiful old stones. Find it really interesting. Check out this one over here. So again, very difficult to read. I'm very intrigued by this one here that looks like it is being sucked into the ground almost. I'm guessing it just broke off and then was replaced. John Lindsay. Sorry. Here we have a fairly nice, it looks like, family plot. Fallen into some disrepair, missing part of its fence, but pretty cool. Alan McMichael dies September 9th, 1860. 43 years old. Wow. One thing I am curious about, I am reasonably certain that in previous years we had learned that most people are laid to rest laying east to west, and that does seem to be the case. I mean, you know, as I face the headstones over here where we've been, it is facing almost directly east. But I'm reasonably certain that the headstone usually faces east as well, so that you can read it first thing in the morning. I'm not sure if that's a different thing here, because these ones, of course, do face east. So I wonder how they determine which way to face things. So here's some of the Holcomb family. You may recall from the intro that Holcomb was the last name of one of the victims of the Crouch murders. Oh yeah, here she is. So Susan M. So interesting stuff.
Kind of want to get that. Gordon, Lampshire. Again, I think back in the day, maybe his cemetery was facing the opposite direction. For reference, the church is right over there, behind those trees and stuff. Still standing, and as far as I know, is still in use today.
Here we have another older one. I wonder if you can read that at all. Daniel Lee, it looks like. Sally Lee. Some broken stones, it looks like, and then maybe they're laid here to be prepared. Mariah Lee with the willow motif, as we've seen before. It looked like maybe, oh, just some swirly designs on the other ones. That's interesting. I don't know that I've seen that much just scrolling. Usually it would be an angel, and those would be wings or something like that. But interesting stuff. As though these ones, oh, that's neat. I'm a fan of the ones that just points to God. Worth. I can't read this one. This modern stone helps clarify things a little. Temperance a day for J and R. Worth. Interesting. Do love a Freemason. James Worth died October 1885. 80 years old, not bad for the time period, I have to say. We'll go over here. Dinah. Well, this is so interesting here because now this one faces the other way. Matthew W. Hatch, 1886, faces the fence. I wonder what makes them decide this. So do these. I assumed they faced the other way when I was facing the other way, but here they are. That's so interesting. And then these ones, of course, are back around. Helm. That's fun. Good name. Definitely a cool little cemetery.
Yeah, I like starting out with like the smaller ones, the ones that have like a lot of history, especially the aged ones. Because as I was walking through the left side of the cemetery over here,
Yeah.
a lot of worn down stones, a lot of broken stones. Obviously, you got past the family stones and everything. Unique one, like you were mentioning as you were walking up, was the tall one in the back.
Yeah, a large monument looking one.
Yeah, so that was actually erected by the son of the parents who passed away, William Gates.
Ah, okay.
So that was erected in memoriam to them, and it is huge. Like from standing there looking straight up, it's insane. You can see in the footage how tall it looks just by seeing it. I mean, we see monuments like that in larger cemeteries.
Yeah.
Very unique to see it in a smaller one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, it looks like you got a lot of the old stones. One thing that I thought was interesting is there are stones over there that go all the way to 1965. And so it's fairly modern over there. A lot of small family plots, though, all the way around. How was yours laid out? Did you notice that they were maybe facing different directions, the different headstones?
Yeah, so especially the older ones looked like they were facing the backside of the cemetery. So it makes me think, I mean, obviously we're looking at the fact that the church is right here that was used in this cemetery, like maybe back in the 1800s and stuff. That was the point. Obviously once they built the road over here and the access way to the cemetery, they start facing the other direction. But yeah, especially looking at these big monuments, you can see that the name plates and names on them are engraved on the opposite side, which was very unique.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed a similar thing, but what I would on the right side of the cemetery, as you're facing it, some of them, so all the ones over there, almost all the ones over there face the whatever's that way, the forest. But there were a handful that faced that way, and then as you came over here, these ones closest to us face the street, and as you go further back, they face further and further toward the back. But there is at least one section where they face each other. Which was really interesting to me.
Well, as we start doing these more, and we start learning that, there's different ways of people laying out cemeteries. We looked at Oxable Cemetery in our first go-around, how they're facing east, north and south instead of east and west.
Right, which is unusual.
Yeah. One thing that was also kind of cool is like when you looked at the family plot over here, there's a lot of these posts, cement posts, that probably at one point had like a chain or a rope or something.
Right.
To block it off. I also noticed them in the back corners, so I'm wondering if before this fence was put in, that's how they kind of separated it.
I can see that.
So it's a unique cemetery, and I'm glad that we had an opportunity to come check
I don't
this
think
one
we've
out.
seen one like this, really. So, yeah, so if you're ever around Jackson, Michigan, swing on by, check it out, pay your respects. It's a pretty cool place. And if you get the chance to be here on a cloudy night or whatever, and you get to see the mist, drop it in the comments. Tell us about it. Let us know what that was like.
Yeah, we love hearing from you guys and sharing your stories and stuff. It's one of the biggest reasons we do this is to get those stories from other people. So if you're not following us on YouTube, please do so, because we have 11 more of these hitting on this series. So
that's right.
We thank you for joining us. We thank you for viewing. As always, I am Travesty.
And I'm the Freak Joe.
And thank you for coming along with us on another freaky cemetery tour.